Mini Wargaming's War Machine League Battle Reports.
Hey there, Mini Wargamers. Owen here from Mini Wargaming with Jordan and Nick for one of the last games. I think this is the second last game in the War Machine League. And 35 points of Legion going up against Cygnar. Are you going to win this time?
Hopefully. I need to get some wins in here somewhere.
All right, well, we'll show you the armies and we'll get this underway.
So here we have the Cygnar army lined off. This is the army I know the least, actually. So we've got a Journeyman, we've got Arlen Strangeways, we've got Rupert, we've got Lady Iana and Holt, we've got Stormblades with the UA and a few weapon attachments. We've got, what's his name? Squire Thorn, the Caster Nemo, and he's the character Jack. He beats people up. I'll remember it. Spellmartyr, Typhon, Ethagrosh, another Ravagore, Spellmartyr, 2 Shepherds, and then in the front we've got Shredder 1, Shredder 2, Shredder 3, Shredder 4, Shredder 5, Shredder 6, and that's the Legion army, because Typhon's awesome. So here they are deployed. We're playing close quarters. There's 2 objectives here, and they get 1 point for dominating their own points, 2 points for controlling the enemy, 3 points for dominating the enemies. And that's basically how they've lined up. The Legion goes first. Rowdy. Oh, Rowdy. That's what that Jack's name is. I knew I would remember. The Shredders take off, running up ahead because Shredders is Shredders, and that's what they do. So he's running up, moving up with the Shredders, getting up in front of the wall there, running the risk that they're all going to get killed, but that's the way they go. After that, we've got the next Shredder running up as well, trying to figure out what's going on here. Got a little bit distracted, people walking in. But anyway, moving up now, we've got the Spellmartyr going up into the woods there, the other Spellmartyr running up on the other outside edge, moving up the side. Thagrosh himself throws away pretty much all his fury, and then does, I believe, Draconic Blessing on himself, and then charges, and fails his charge, obviously, because he hits the wall, which would make him immediately stop, because he does not have Pathfinder from what I recall. But I believe that's as far as he could go anyway, so that's where he ended up. Typhon then does excessive healing on himself and runs. We move up the Shepherd behind him, taking off that Fury because that's what they do. Then we move up with the Ravagore, taking a shot. Using his Animus, it scatters one of the 2 and lands right there, just a little scather. And he takes the Fury off, of course. Here we go, Cygnar start off. Doing a couple measurements, making sure his Stormblades here are the Storm Knights, Storm Lancers. Lightning guys, Lightning Infantry, run up. I failed. Dirge of Mist onto the unit of Lancers there, the Stormblades. From Rupert, and then we've got the Thorn moving up after power boosting him. Nemo moves up behind the wall, casting Deflection on himself with Nemo, and then from there he starts throwing around some Chain Lightnings, arcing them through his Thorn, getting them into the Shredders up ahead. And because he cast a spell on Thorn, it gets to make an advance, and it turns out he was a little bit out of range, but he kind of messed up a bit here, and he'll explain at the end what happened, but some of you may have caught it already, and you'll see it gets worse. So stand by, Cygnar players. Yeah. But anyway, moving back into the Legion turn, little Shredder runs up, stand on the other side of the flag. Or sorry, that is not a Shredder, that is a Spellmartyr. So Spellmartyrs move up. He spends 4, and he's going to cast Obliteration on those guys right there, and boosting to hit, which is a hit. So AoE 4 right there, -7. Knocking down all these guys here. It wasn't Obliteration, it was the other spell that does knockdown on all the guys around there. So all of them had been knocked down, and then he advances up and sprays, aiming for the guy in the front there, missing unfortunately, and that's that. Not aiming in that he has an aiming bonus, but aiming in that, yeah. So he goes to charge in with the Shredder here, doing his Rabid first, and we measure the 10.5 inches. Unfortunately, he is just out, and so he does not get to attack with this Shredder sitting just outside. Old Rowdy, though, does have counter charge, and so he gets to make a charge now, going after this Shredder. And so we're measuring off how far he gets to go, because he does not have Pathfinder. But the bonus speed from the charge does get him closer, but not quite close enough. Here we go. The next Shredder moves up, just kind of wrapping around Thagrosh, putting himself up front, because Thagrosh is gigantic, and the problem that the big casters, especially any kind of large base caster, runs into is how easy it is to shoot them out of an army. And if any army is going to shoot, or any army is going to use magic, it's going to be Cygnar. They're the ones who are going to kill you at range. So you got to be aware of that kind of thing. You get used to it when you play like Harbinger or Thagrosh. The Shredders all move up and they start throwing around tenacities and stuff like that. Taking shots here. He does get a hit and kills that guy because he is knocked down, of course. Fires another spray, hitting and killing yet another one. rolling off against the Shredder, and he misses. There we go. And then moves up with the Shepherd, taking all the fury off of Typhon once again. The Ravagore then moves up, taking another Scather shot, aiming for the Jack, his old Rowdy, which does hit, lighting him on fire, and then does a little bit of damage, damaging up his arm, and then, of course, kills the little Stormblade that was hanging out next to him. And then, of course, the Shepherd moves up, takes off the Fury, and that's it. He gets additional focus on his caster for having cast spells in the previous turn, or spells having been cast. Old Rowdy gets 4 focus, thanks to Nemo. And then he moves over with Arlen Strangeways and gets Thorn to move up off towards the side there. The Squire moves up, just hanging out next to Nemo. Nemo jumps over the wall, which is risky, but he does do his feat, and so he gets to hit pretty much everybody, all the War Beasts and Warjacks and stuff. They all take, I can't recall the POW, but it's good. It's POW 14, that's right. And so he goes after the first Shredder, dies, because that's what can happen. There are like 14s to kill. So here we go, the next guy, he gets hit, and boom, explodes another Shredder. Next Shredder, this one's got tenacity, so it's dice +1. And then the next one, dice +1, does another bunch of damage. Bam. Another 6, and then dice +1 against the next one, another 7. 8, sorry. 9? No, it's dice +1. Then dice -3, he's going after the bigger beasties here. He does decide to boost. Now, he could have boosted all of these, which he once again, should have been boosting these. Old Rowdy comes flying out of the woods, moving over to there. And then charging Typhon, he gets to make the advance thanks to telekinesis on the caster. So charge attack boosted, hits, dice +1. He rolls pretty poorly, but he does get a nice good hit. Excessive healing, heals Typhon for 1. He then has his second initial, which hits, and then does a big hit again. Excessive healing heals him for 2 this time. Buys an attack with the hammer, which hits. Then dice +1. Bam, another hitting blow killed him, and that's what happened. Here we go, little Stormblades are moving up now. They're getting charge run orders, and they're all running all over the place. These guys are actually really nasty. They're on par with any other elite infantry that you can find. I mean, they're basically like errants, only a little bit tougher, I think. Well, tougher and weaker, depending on what you've got going on. But they do have the nice support to make them really good, and they've got a rather good shooting game that Cygnar is known for. So, personally, I like them, but anyway, they move up. And of course, Jordan did a great job painting them. Nice and green, as opposed to the usual blue. But anyway, moving up, doing charges, trying to get around here. I believe they have assault, so he's going to get to make a gunshot with his UA here as he charges up after that Shredder. These two attacking the Shredders, though. Taking the assault shots first, because you do those first, and unfortunately doesn't get any of them, really. Melee attack, miss. Now we're going for the charges, misses, and that's that. Could not kill that one Shredder with 4 attacks, which is quite unfortunate. Journeyman moves up to about there, and then does Arcane Shield onto his caster. And then he moves up Lady Iana and Holt, or Master Holt, rather. And Thagrosh, we were checking if he has Eyeless Sight, and I don't believe so. I think it's only Vale who has Eyeless Sight. And there we go. So here we go, going into Legion turn. Now we're going to pay attention to their reaving, because he does not take it from that Shredder, who frenzies. He freaks out and bites the nearest guy and hits him. And then boosted at dice -5 and kills him. Actually, wasn't boosted because his body was messed up from the lightning bolts. And then he heals thanks to snacking. The next one does not freak out, and so he's okay. Moves up, healing the Shredder, D3 points of damage, and then does his feat with Thagrosh. And so he then casts Manifest Destiny, basically setting it up for all the Shredders to get in there and start killing everyone. Then moves over to attack Old Rowdy after doing Dragon Slayer as well, I believe. Takes a swing, hits. It definitely did Dragon Slayer because he wants to try and smash this Jack into pieces. So he hits 4 dice damage, take away the lowest. Almost kills it in the one hit. Takes another attack, buying another attack against it, of course. Its movement's gone, so he's easily hitting it, and then once again smacks it, and then that is the end of Old... Oh, no, never mind. I apologize. Old Rowdy is alive with 1 box. Takes another swing, and Old Rowdy dies. After being lit on fire, of course. The Ravagore moves up. And now he does the one thing in War Machine that every War Machine player I've met hates, is he's shooting between that little gap and is shooting at his caster because there is a little gap. He hits him. It's dice -2, I believe, and he does a solid 9, crushing lots. Actually, no, it's dice +2 from what I recall. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's down to like 5 boxes left on his caster and kills Arlen Strangeways, and then of course takes all the fury away uses the Shepherd rather to heal that Shredder, who then walks around and gets a bunch of dice to hit and damage against the fella there. They all get additional die, and then they're rabbiting, so they're getting another boosted, so it's like boosted with additional die, and it's crazy how many dice these guys are throwing around, but they still fail, which is hilarious. And so he moves up, and that's all he does. The other Shredder moves up after going rabid, going after the solo here, needing a 7 to hit. He easily gets it, and then dice -5, and he does it once again on a nice boxcars, killing him. So there we go. That's the end of them. The next Shredder, that one of course heals and then gets back into action. Now the feat allows him to move and attack again. So Shredder moves up into the circle there, taking a bite on the caster. He does get a miss, and then he moves up the next Shredder going for the caster as well. And you can do it. There we go. Needing a 9. Hits, and then dice -7. Bunch of damage. Still alive with 3 boxes. The last Shredder we rolled off to see if it's going to make it the last little bit. And we just measured the ½ inch more. Bam, he is in. And he is moving up and attacking, going for the caster, needing a 9, getting a 9, then dice -7, and doing enough to
Works
finish
sometimes.
off the caster.
Not this time.
No.
Handshakes. Bam.
I love
So
the
dumb.
squirrels.
So
You can't stop it. You gave
I
me.
could have stopped it if I used my brain at any point during this game.
Everybody.
I
Gets,
could have slapped them off
everybody
the table.
gives me that stupid little gap that they need to sneak.
Yep.
I've done it against trolls. I've done it against Manoth. Just give me a little spot. The shredders get through, and it's game over.
I tried to tell you. I told you should have just nuked them all when you had done your when you said what your feet was. I'm like, kill them all. Turn 1. Boom. All of them go away. That's
You're
okay.
sitting here.
I got Beardy. I
He's
thought
weird.
Rowdy could get there, and then I was
This-
like, oh, Rowdy's not going
You
to
know
get there. I
what your
better do
problem
something
was?
with Rowdy.
These guys needed to go here. You
Yeah.
blocked off the Ravagorn. I'm sitting here with a grin on my face. No one's trying to hint at you. That's why I was telling
My hat's covering. My covering.
He's like, don't tell him anything. Yeah.
Quiet, Owen. Owen, stop telling. He was trying to hint at what was coming.
Yeah. Well.
Or what you had to do instead of throwing Thorn here is put Thorn here, so I was at least in his melee.
Yeah, originally I wanted Thorn just as a, if I survive to this point, to send Thorn after that rush again.
Because they take free strikes. You can't. I
Yeah.
gotta avoid the free strikes.
Yeah, he would have pasted them with 3 strikes.
But the fact that you didn't kill him and I killed those guys and snacked them and got the
Yeah.
full function was. I've never actually snacked before or had it come up that amazing.
It was great.
Yeah.
I liked every moment of that game.
I hated every
It was-
moment of this
it was
game because it was just
great.
me banging my head against a wall. Like every other game this week, I fail utterly on camera in this game.
As soon as you guys are watching, Jordan forgets what day it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, leave a comment below. Don't comment on Jordan.
I'm aware of how badly I failed here. I know everything stupid that I did wrong already.
Like how they have Pathfinder right now.
Yeah, or how on turn 1,
Why
Thorn
would
should have
they-
easily been in range to electrocute him on
Perfect example.
3 different ways. I could have done it.
This guy's tough. I guess I would have killed him and then he would have
Got
not
eaten
blocked me
again,
from
but-
running, but still
yeah.
he'd been in the way.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have snacked him.
I could have killed the Shredders 1,000 times during this game and just didn't. Mostly through stupidity. Sometimes just through deciding on stupider plans.
All right. Well, we'll end it off there. One more game left in the War Machine League, guys. Stay tuned. Coming up next.